Okay, let's just get right into it. If you have ever stared at your screen just completely frustrated because an AI gave you this generic fluffy garbage when you needed a highly specific answer, you are in exactly the right place. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to completely cure that frustration. We are going to transform you from someone who just types blindly into a search box into a master prompt engineer. And the secret? Well, it's all about a massive mindset shift. You need to stop commanding the AI and start steering it.
Here is our roadmap for the masterclass. We'll build our way up, starting with the foundations of prompt engineering, then steering versus commanding, next-level techniques, advanced strategies, and finally wrap up with common mistakes and hacks.
All right, Part 1. Foundations of Prompt Engineering, Programming in Natural Language.
So the absolute biggest mindset shift you need to make right now is realizing that you aren't just typing into some magical search engine. You are actually programming. But instead of using Python or JavaScript, you're using plain English to give instructions and complete an action. To really master this, we kind of have to strip away the magic of AI. At its core, a large language model, or LLM, is literally just a highly advanced text prediction engine. It takes your input and predicts the next most likely text in a sequence based on massive amounts of training data. And here's the absolutely crucial point. By default, these models have zero built-in memory. None. They don't have a secret task list, and they do not remember who you are from scratch.
You're probably wondering, well, how does it seem like they have memory then? As a user, you might just type something simple like, review my essay. But behind the scenes, user interfaces like ChatGPT are actually jamming your entire previous conversation history, system instructions, and tool context right into the prompt before sending it over to the model. The LLM only remembers because the interface is secretly feeding it all that past context to help it predict better. Understanding this illusion of memory is your very first step to mastering your prompts.
Moving right along to Part 2, Steering versus Commanding, the core mechanics.
Now that we actually know how the machine thinks, how do we move away from those lazy, vague commands to steering the model to produce our exact desired outcome? Now, what's really interesting about this comparison is the stark contrast between these two approaches. That bad prompt? It's just a command. Write something about our product. You're forcing the model to guess your tone, your length, and your audience, which almost always results in fluffy garbage. But take a look at the good prompt. You are a senior B2B copywriter. Write a 2-sentence LinkedIn ad for our project management SaaS, an Asana alternative. The audience is ops managers. The tone is confident but not salesy. That right there is steering. It's scoped, it's actionable, and it's practically ready to be dropped straight into an ad campaign. To achieve that exact level of brilliance every time, you really need to rely on the 4 pillars of steering. Whenever you write a prompt, you should clearly define the role, the audience, the tone, and the format. Oh, and definitely do not forget negative constraints. Literally, telling the AI what not to do, like saying, do not use generic greetings or no slang, tightly bounds the output. It completely stops the model from wandering off into unhelpful territory and keeps your results incredibly focused.
All right, Part 3. Next-level prompting techniques, controlling the output.
Here is where we ramp things up and start controlling exactly how the AI processes data and formats its responses. Our first next-level technique is called few-shot prompting. LLMs are basically pattern recognition monsters. If you give the AI just a few examples of an input and your exact desired output, it learns the pattern instantly. For instance, say you wanted to classify bug reports. You provide 3 examples of messy user feedback paired with your perfect clean ticket title format. Then, when you give it a brand new piece of feedback like, the app crashed when I uploaded a 10-megabit PDF on iPhone, it guarantees a perfectly formatted, correctly classified ticket title every single time.
Next up is chain of thought prompting. Take a look at this math problem about Sarah buying pens and notebooks. If you just toss this to a standard off-the-shelf model, it'll often try to jump straight to predicting the final text and just completely fail basic logic. But if you simply add the phrase reason step by step right at the end of your prompt, you force the AI to write out its logic before giving the answer. This dramatically reduces errors in math, logic, and complex planning.
And that logic brilliantly illustrates our next technique, structured output. When you need data organized, let's say you're comparing Trello, Monday.com, and ClickUp, don't just ask for a generic summary. Ask for a strict format. Tell it to give you a valid JSON object or a markdown table. By providing an exact schema of what you want, developers can pull this data directly into databases or front-end websites without having to untangle messy, rambling paragraphs of text.
Let's dive into Part 4, Advanced Prompting Strategies, Developer-Level Tactics.
These next developer-level tactics are exactly what separate the casual novices from the true prompt engineering pros. And I gotta tell you, I absolutely love this one. This is the interview method. A lot of the time, we don't even know what context the AI needs to give us a good answer. So, you flip the script. If you want a killer LinkedIn post about switching to a 4-day work week, just tell the AI, before you write it, interview me and ask me questions one at a time about anything you need. The AI will start asking you about your company size, your specific metrics, your target audience. It extracts all the rich context you didn't even realize was missing, and that results in a perfectly tailored output.
Another super important advanced concept is understanding the difference between system and user prompts. Your user prompt is just a daily instruction you type in, like, how is your day going? But behind the scenes, developers use system prompts to set permanent background rules. For example, if the system prompt is set to always talk like Mario, the model is going to read that rule before every single interaction. It permanently forces the AI's identity, which means you don't have to repeat your rules every single time you chat.
Then we have prompt chaining. Look, if you give an AI a massive, multi-step task all at once, it is going to get confused and drop instructions. It's inevitable. Instead, break it into a chain of verifiable steps. Step 1, output a 5-heading outline. Wait and verify it. Step 2, feed that outline back in and ask it to expand into a draft. Step 3, turn that draft into SEO metadata. This step-by-step chain completely ensures high-quality results at every single stage.
Finally, for our advanced techniques, we have temperature. Think of this literally like a dial that controls the model's determinism or its creative randomness. If you are writing strict code or extracting specific formatting, you want a low temperature for consistent, repeatable facts. But if you're brainstorming wild marketing ideas and want varied, interesting phrasing, you crank that temperature high for much more creative, randomized outputs.
Wrapping up with part 5, common mistakes and hacks, speeding up your flow. We are going to troubleshoot the absolute most common hurdles you're going to face. Let's just rapid fire through these fixes. Getting vague answers? Fix it by adding a specific role and a format constraint. Is the model missing instructions? You've probably given it too many tasks. Fix it by chaining your prompts step by step. Is it completely ignoring your layout? Explicitly enforce a JSON or table structure. And most importantly, if the AI suddenly forgets a crucial detail, it's simply because that information fell out of the injected context window. The fix? Just repeat your key facts in the new prompt.
Okay, now I'm going to reveal the ultimate speedrun technique that is going to completely change how you work with AI. Take a look at this number, 162. That represents words per minute, and it is the setup for the most powerful hack in all of prompt engineering.
You see, the single biggest barrier to writing incredible, detailed prompts isn't a lack of knowledge, it's typing fatigue. We get lazy. The ultimate hack here is voice dictation. You gotta stop lazily typing short, vague commands. Instead, use a tool like WhisperFlow to just speak your prompts in natural language. You can easily hit 162 words per minute doing this. These tools automatically format your speech, they add punctuation, and they strip out all your ums and repeated words. It allows you to generate highly detailed, richly contextual prompts with literally zero physical effort, making your iteration process dramatically faster. So, the crucial point to take away from all the source material we've covered today is simple. By applying roles, strict constraints, few-shot examples, and by using your voice to provide rich context without burning yourself out, your entire relationship with AI changes. You are no longer just a frustrated user commanding an AI and hoping for the best. You are a master prompt engineer, firmly steering it exactly where you want it to go. Which leaves us with one final, pretty exciting thought. If prompt engineering is really just programming in natural language, and you now have the tools to dictate complex code just by speaking, what will you build with your voice today? Dive in, experiment, and start steering.